pointing glass. You can't see the guitar anyway.
So I won't let you down. Good. So revision. Much. My colleagues have already covered things like mnemonics and flashcards and mind maps and stuff, and lots of technology stuff, etc. But I want to give a few tips in class. Now, one of the key things is that in class, do not just witter at them for an hour, because it just bores them rigid. And it may have bored them rigid the first time as well, so it really doesn't help. What the key thing is, you've got to get them involved so that they're doing some form of active revision. Even if it's just simply as redoing notes and things, because it gets the brain going, it stimulates them, it gets them to think, it gets them to summarise, and they write it down, etc. But I think a more important thing is to actually get them to teach what they don't understand. So last week in my politics lesson, I said to them, well, this is the list of the things that you need to know for my part of the course in AS Politics. I said to them, I want you to be very, very honest with yourselves and work out which ones of these do you know well and which ones are you absolutely pants at. And then the idea was that they took 3 or 4 of the ones that they were absolutely pants at, and they had to work out what was good and bad about it, so, you know, what each one was, what was good and bad about it, and then they made mini presentations to the rest of the class about it. Because when I was very young, I learnt about depressions, low pressure systems, etc. Weather, okay? And I got through A-level, and GCSE, and indeed even at university, I didn't actually understand it. I finally understood it when I actually had to teach it. And that always stayed with me, and every year I get students to tell me, what do you not understand? Great, excellent, you're going to teach it next week. So do that. Today with the same class, I want to go into exam technique. So they're going to see these 9 essay titles, and they're just going to basically plan them in pairs for 5 minutes, then pass them round, add to the essay plan. After 5 minutes, pass it round, add to the essay plan, etc. And then towards the end, they'll then put it all into the correct order, and hopefully they'll end up with 9 very good essay plans for the politics exam that's coming up in 2 or 3 weeks' time. Now, obviously, you wouldn't expect me to get away without doing a rap, but I only wrote this yesterday, so I don't know it terribly well, so I'll have to turn around and face it to see. Because the idea is that, can you get them to put the facts that they need to know into a rap, if that is a way of revising that will help them? Obviously, if it's not their way of revising, there's no use at all. But we came up with this. In the UK, we use FPTP to elect MPs in constituencies. Tories got 36% of the vote, but with 306 seats, they missed the boat. Into coalition they had to go, with 57 Lib Dem MPs in tow, who, in spite of winning the TV debate, their share of the vote did not translate. Clegg and Cameron were young and dynamic. Gordon Brown was tired and melancholic. Party leaders were all over the media, but the Sun said, Brown, we don't need you. The North chose South. The South went Tory. Lib Dems in the South West, same old story. The SNP, DUP and Sinn Féin in the Celtic fringes were nationalist gains. And policy promises simply lies. Clegg said tuition fees will not rise. Rational choice model. What's in it for me? The key issue is always the economy. Next elections in 2015, Miliband PM, he's very keen, but now I've learnt quite enough of this. Swann, you really can't take the mickey. And of course, and just a reminder of the YouTube sensation. Yeah, the might say how but you can read it yourself. Okay, so revision, get them to enjoy it, get them to be active, and it'll work. Thank you.